for all the blessings that you bestow upon us and our county. We also ask that you heal any families that need your healing. You give peace to any families that may be grieving. We are about to start the school year. We please ask that you build a hedge of protection around all our students, our teachers, our staff, our district staff, just everybody here. Give us a great beginning to our school year. And always, I like to ask you that you make each of us a little bit more in your liking, in your eyes. You can see our hearts, you can see our minds. So please, let us act kinder each day, more loving each day to one another. All this we pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please raise the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There have been no changes to the agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight, and we will start the meeting with Ms. Lake. It's fast, I know.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you guys for coming on a Monday. This might be a first, but thank you. So tonight, I'm going to present the 26-27 tentative budget, and this budget will represent the estimates of revenues and expenditures based on the information we have available to us today. And this meeting satisfies the statutory requirements of adopting a tentative budget. Tonight's meeting is the first of two required public hearings. So if anyone has any questions at any time, please ask. And at the end of the night, hopefully, we will have adopted a tentative millage and budget. The final budget will be on September 11th. So Florida law requires us to adopt the millage before the budget. The proposed total millage rate is 5.29, which consists of 3.04, which is our state required local effort. 7.748 is our basic discretionary operating, and 1.5 is our capital outlay. Here is the ad we published for our tentative millage, and one of the items that often causes confusion is there's a statement there that says this is a 3.72% increase above the rollback rate. That does not mean that property taxes are increasing by 3.72%. The rollback rate is the tax rate that would generate the same property tax revenue as last year, excluding any new construction. Since property values have increased, the rollback rate decreases, maintaining the state's required operating millage therefore appears as a percentage above the rollback rate. So in other words, this comparison is required by the state law and is intended to show the difference between the proposed rate and the theoretical rollback rate, not necessarily change in an individual's taxable. So that is the required local effort, basic discretionary, and capital outlay. If anybody has any questions, ask them to me now. If not, I would appreciate a motion to approve the tentative millage.
I move to approve the tentative millage as follows and adopt the tentative millage resolution 27-01. Our required local effort will be 3.0420. Basic discretionary operating is 0.7480. Capital outlay is 1.5000. For a total millage of 5.2900. This total millage will reflect a positive change, 3.72% of the current year's total proposed rate as a percentage of the rollback rate as found on line 22 of the school's taxable value.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So we had the proposed budget. None of these numbers have changed from the proposed budget. The proposed and the tentative will be exactly the same. The final will, of course, be updated as we continue to review revenues and expenditures from the current year. So this shows our revenue sources, and our primary revenue source, of course, is the state funding, which is the FEFP program, supplemented by local property taxes, federal revenues, grants, and other local sources. The federal revenue in this category is mostly Medicare reimbursements. This is not federal grants. You'll see that later, like Title I, II, that's different. And as always, our state and local funding make up the majority of our operating budget, with our FEFP program being the largest contributor to our operating budget. All right, and this shows how we allocate our resources. The largest share of expenditures continues to be personnel costs, which is just consistent for school districts throughout the state of Florida because we are a people-driven organization. Does anyone have any questions about these expenditures? The salary, the variance is, part of that variance are some personnel reductions we have done in the start of the year, but a large portion is coming from bonuses that we did last year that are non-recurring, and this budget has not been updated to reflect the compensation plan that was approved at the last meeting. So some of those variances are just simply because of non-recurring funds. All right, here we are again looking at it by object. Again, you can see salaries and benefits is our largest investment, 74% of our operating fund. I think it's important just to remind everyone of that, because as we try to make changes and we're trying to avoid impacting that line, you can see it ultimately is unavoidable if we get in a situation that requires extreme cuts. So I do think, though, it reflects our commitment to attracting and retaining high-quality teachers and administrators and support staff. We continue to put money in that salary line, as you did when you approved the compensation package we agreed upon. The remaining expenditures are purchase services, instructional materials and supplies, capital outlay. So those other items are making up the rest of our resources. Does anybody have any questions? So that was looking at our expenditures by object. When you look at it by function, so that's what we're buying, but where's it going? You can see that our expenditures, over half of the operating budget is designated for direct classroom instruction. So that's just a pulse check to let us know that our money is going where it should go because of the obvious reasons. So then the next largest category is our general support services, which would include district administration, school-based administration, and transportation as well. And then you can see district-wide day-to-day operations comes up after that. Or I'm sorry, that is included in that. So those day-to-day operations is also included in that. After that is student and instructional support services. Okay. This has already changed. I did not update this because I think let's just wait until the final, because it changes every day, so I didn't want to keep running after it. But this is already old information, but it's the information that we had before I did the proposed. And it's showing that, no, I'm sorry, this slide is okay. It's when we get to the next one. This slide is still correct. That we had a deficit of about $76,000. That was after I reduced for roll forward funds that are in our budget. We budget them fully, but they are never fully expended. You can see how much the compensation agreement was. That has not been added, and that will be at the final. And we still had a estimated financial condition ratio. I think it was around 12, if I remember correctly. It might have been a little higher.
Yep.
Was a little higher.
It was 12.79.
Okay. This is the one that, the next slide, this one's already changed, where we are, this year's revenues and expenditures and what our deficit is going to be. Right now, our fund balance is higher, so follow this math. Our fund balance is projected to be higher than it was the start of last year. But our financial condition ratio has declined. Why? Because the growth in the fund balance is due to restricted funds. CAT grant is the biggest one. And the actual unassigned portion of the fund balance has declined. also our financial condition ratio has declined. So it has three components we do: assigned, unassigned, and restricted. Our restricted has grown, our assigned has grown marginally, and our unassigned has reduced. And our financial condition ratio has reduced, but it is still looking to be somewhere around 17. But caution, any joy in that,
Yeah.
is our capital outlay transfers are even higher in order to maintain that fund balance. So we'll go through all that in the final budget, because I'll have a very clear picture, and you can kind of see that it's not as simple as what our financial condition ratio is, what our fund balance is. You have to look at everything as a whole. This is our debt service budget. We used to have two in here, COPS, but those have been paid off. So now certificates of participation, those have been paid off. So now we just have racetrack. This will be the first year that we will have to provide the charters with some of that local capital outlay. So the next is our capital funds budget that we use to purchase school buses, maintenance, and these funds are restricted, and they're only eligible to be used as prescribed by law, and the ad that we put in the paper that says how we're going to use those funds. Our food service budget, you can see that we're looking to have an ending fund balance this year of about 2.3. I will say the last 2 years, we have moved close to 500,000 from schoolhouse to the general fund balance. So when I peel all those things out that we didn't used to do, you can see that the fund balance is under a lot of weight. And we're trying our best to try to alleviate that on the operating side. But the food service budget has the ability to do that for now. We do that through indirect costs. Federal programs budget, these numbers are not gonna be the same. This is last year's. I just don't have this year's yet. And then internal services is our self-insurance. You know, we moved 450,000 out of operating to prop up the fund balance for internal service. I have another 300,000 built into this budget to move as well. And you agreed to share 50% of the increase in health insurance costs as well. All right, this is just the summary ad. You approved this ad at the proposed budget. This is what ran in the Gainesville Sun. It ran in the Gainesville Sun because of timing. We didn't have time to run it in our one local paper because of the way the dates fell. The next ad is what we advertised for how we will spend this year's capital outlay. So that is the tentative budget. I feel like it does reflect a fiscally responsible budget that supports our students and staff. But does anybody have any questions? Do you want me to dig into anything of it? Any pieces of it? I feel like we went through it a little bit differently at the proposed, but it is exactly the same information.
Okay.
I move to approve tentative budget and adopt resolution 2702 and to adopt the tentative budget.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I have one last thing. This does not require a resolution, but it does require a motion to adopt. This is where I had to go and do an amended notice of tax for that school capital outlay for last year. We used funds from last year to pay off the last bit of our Chiefland Middle High School. It was not in that advertisement. I am coming along behind, so I may still get a hand slap for this, but it was the best that I could do, is we're gonna come along. We advertised it like we should. We just need board approval on this use of funds.
Do we have a motion? So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Lake. Thank you very much. And at this point, we've come to public comments. Do we have any public comments from the audience? Ms. Hanlon? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving to the consent agenda. Mr. Asbell, do you have any questions?
Yeah, ma'am.
Ms. Campbell?
No, my questions have been answered.
Ms. Baxter?
No questions.
And my questions were answered as well. Do we have a motion to approve the consent and finance agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now is the time for superintendent comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to mention briefly, if you see number 12 in the employee status changes, just please keep the Parks family in your prayers. That was our Cedar Key custodian, and just keep them in your prayers. Okay. Good day today. That's where I look like I had a perm. It's not the case. It was going back and forth from Bronson Middle High to Bronson Elementary in the rain, but it was well worth it. We had our pre-planning day today for all of elementary, all of secondary, and we were very fortunate to have the Bureau of School Improvement. As I mentioned before, Mr. Sims brought his entire team with him, and they have an academy during the month of June. What he did for free, this was no cost to our district. He brought his team and basically hand-picked sessions from that 3-day summer academy that were actually hand-picked by our admin and a couple district staff, because they attended and watched those sessions firsthand back in June. So they presented today, and the presenters went back and forth across the street, and they were escorted and had greeters. We stayed on time for the most part, and I was able to present to both elementary and secondary. I know I've said it before, and you've seen one snippet of the Levy Stride. So if you hear the Levy Stride, I will take my PowerPoint and I'll present it to the board at another time. I didn't want to put you through that tonight. But it was a great day, and the teachers were very engaged. Admin was very engaged. They were dynamic presenters. And looking forward to school starting up, and I know the teachers are hard at it. And we will have a wonderful year. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Asbell?
The only thing I have is I think it's great that you see in the various communities, you have these, and even our, Ms. Myers did this, these drives to get school supplies, to get things for people that needed haircuts,
Coming up.
the various things. I think that's great. They'll be doing that this Saturday at the Bronson Barbershop. They did it in Williston the other day. So these are great things. I don't know if Chiefland has anything.
They do.
So very great things, and I will also say this. Now, this is not political. This is no form of endorsement. It's not an anti-endorsement. But I think it is important to. There's a handful of meetings throughout the year that are very important. These budget meetings for school board members are extremely important. And if I were running to be a school board member, I would be here. So I think it's very good that we have a candidate. And this, like I say, I'm not in this because whoever gets in there, I got to work with. I'm not endorsing. But I like seeing candidates show up to hear this stuff because, unlike Ms. Clemenzi, we don't all have this much money in our checking account. So most people don't deal with these numbers. So it's good to be here to, you need to be here. You need to make yourself aware because of these, what do you call it, term limits now? Like I had the fortunate ability, I had plenty of time to learn how to do this, to know what this is talking about. You got to hit the ground running. So I would encourage our candidates for these positions to come to these meetings because there's a bunch of mess you have no clue about until you're here. That's, again, not an endorsement, not an anti-endorsement. Both people, I think, are wonderful people, and I'm staying out of all that mess, but I think it's great that we have a candidate here tonight.
Agreed.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Asbell, I think. Ms. Campbell?
I need a loan, too.
Kim, thank you again for your presentation of the tentative budget. And yes, I'm still learning. I'm still learning all of this about finance, but you make it so much more easy to understand because you repeat over and over, you have visuals for us, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to hear that the pre-planning went well today. I was just curious, what was some of the topics? Can you tell us what some of the
The
topics?
science of critical thinking, going ahead and what they called as spacing and interfacing, and figuring out, based on what's going on in the classroom, how do you maintain long time memory? So what you're teaching the children, how do you take that and space it out so that they can refer back to it long term? So they kind of built slowly from the beginning, and they built, each session had a little bit more in that same area of knowledge.
Thank you. I did visit at Cedar Key today and found out through, nobody was there because they were all, but I did talk to our secretaries and I was happy to hear that our enrollment is up. We have 192 and 6 pending, waiting for the records. We have a foreign student enrolling and waiting for those certain visa, that documentation, and then he'll be included in our FTE, which is great. The exchange student from Spain. And our pre-K is full, but we're trying to get more because I understand we have added an aide somehow
You
or
must have
other.
enough to add
Yeah.
8, Miss
Yeah.
Kaylee back there.
And so, so I thought we had to have more students to do that, but somehow or other that happened.
Okay.
So I'm curious about that, but glad to hear that, and I hope that now we will get additional. I saw where the roof is being fixed right now at the gym. And also, the media center hasn't been done yet, is that coming up?
Yes, ma'am, they were, materials delivered there today, they were on
Yeah, I
site
saw
today.
the materials, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know that they started, I kinda hope they didn't,
yeah.
but. they-
Was our gym floor done over the summer?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay, that's done.
yes, ma'am.
Great, okay, good. And I heard that we have a new teacher who was a former student
I saw that.
coming along to be our math teacher, so that's neat. And looking forward to a great year everywhere, Cedar Key and everywhere else.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Ms. Baxter?
I just want to reiterate what she said about Kim. Thank you so much. It is a lot of information, and you do seem to simplify it, and we appreciate that. And Kaylee, I know you have been super busy with all the new teacher orientations, and hope that has gone well. And good to see you, Ms. Hamlin. I also visited the schools today, didn't realize they were going to be over here at their meeting. And Chiefland, the new roof on the media center, Breezy, they're working on it. Do you think it'll be finished?
Oh, they're telling me that it is, I've
Okay.
been pushing on and they say they're gonna be complete with, everybody's telling me they're gonna be complete before school starts.
Yes.
This weather's.
I know, that's what I was wondering about, because it's,
Well, the weather has
it's
been,
forecasted to be storming all week, so,
Some of them brought that on themselves by not starting in a timely manner.
that's true.
We've got provisions, if they don't, they're gonna have to work on weekends and
I see.
at night. And
Okay.
there's also liquidated damages, we're not finishing on time.
Okay, well, I just wanted to check on that with you, and they both, Chiefland Elementary and Chiefland Middle High School, have their back-to-school nights this Thursday, and I'll be attending those, and I too am looking forward to it. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Baxter.
I'll echo what everyone said about Miss Lake. I was bragging about you last week and then realized who I was talking to, and I'm like, don't even think about stealing her. Don't even think about it. But August 8th, Yankeetown's having their big back-to-school bash. Everything's super positive and doing a lot of work at that school. Thank you to everyone. I know summer's a super busy time to get things ready for the school year. So you guys are all much appreciated. And if we have no further business, meeting is adjourned.